so that she can get her mum's attention.
This is what I believe is ruining so many children that come from great, loving families. It is Supernanny Saturday, and this week we are watching the Tsironis family. So let's grab our beverages and dive in.
Our boys, Teddy and Nicholas, were born at 23 weeks gestation. The doctors didn't think that they had a very good chance of survival. We are blessed with these two beautiful boys, but they're naughty. Oh. Kate is a big tattletale. Supernanny, we are desperate. Please come help our family.
Hang in there, I'm on my way.
What an adorable family of 5. We find out that they have a set of twins, but they aren't just any set of twins. They were born prematurely at 23 weeks. So mom just feels so bad disciplining them because she's really thankful that they're alive and healthy. We will come back to that. And an older sister who is a bit of a tattletale. I think that has a lot to do with attention seeking. Let's see how observation day goes.
The first thing that Mum had to do for the day was to get Teddy dressed, but he didn't want to.
Come here. Hey, Teddy. He runs a lot. He's a big runner. Teddy, come here. Where did he go? Teddy, come here. Teddy immediately was running away from me under the table. It's a big game. Chase me.
Why is he so cross now?
I have no idea. Teddy, what do you want with the shoes, Teddy?
If toddlers came with a nutrition label, we would turn that over and it would say 75% silly. They are such goofballs. That's why they like to be chased. They like to hide under tables. They like to be tickled. They like loud noises. They like imaginative play. And when we push up against this by saying no, we are only making it harder on ourselves as well as harder for them. So instead, we're going to work with the sillies. It looks like this. You go, oh my goodness, are you running away because you want me to chase you? You always have the best hiding places. I wonder if there are really good hiding places outside. Let's get on our shoes really quickly and then let's go play hide and seek outside. And then as you're putting on their shoes, you're talking about places in your backyard where you would hide, maybe under the tree. By doing this, you're meeting their needs for silliness, but it also gets their dang shoes on.
Daddy doesn't really play because Daddy's lazy because he wants to watch his own movies.
Really?
Well, Nicholas doesn't come out of timeouts. Only Teddy. He doesn't understand that he has to stay in his timeout because he did something bad.
Right, and are you a good girl? Do you stay in your timeout?
I don't go in timeouts because I don't do anything bad.
Well, that's just fantastic then.
As a teacher, I know this all too well. They come to school and they tell you all their business, all the family business. But don't worry, we understand as teachers that context matters. They have no filter and their stories don't always make perfect sense. For example, I recently heard this story where a child went to school and they told their teacher that they live in a crack house. Right? And so the teacher investigated a little bit further, come to find out that the child just meant that the flooring in their house has a lot of cracks. So she called it a crack house. Okay, but aside from that, can we please give out an award for the cutest Supernanny child to ever be on this show? Can we please give it to Kate? I have not seen a cuter child. The way that she expresses herself, I'm obsessed. What do you think? Let me know in the comments if you agree that Kate should win the cutest Supernanny kid award.
They were about 1.6 pounds. They both had ileostomies. They both had PDAs. They had heart surgery, Broviacs, chest tubes. They were see-through. Their eyes were fused shut. You could see their organs through their skin. They didn't have skin yet. We didn't know for about 2 months if we were going to be able to bring them home or not. And that's why when they, do something, if I yell at them or get really angry, it's hard because they're here. You know, they're God's gift to us.
Wow, what a story. The emotional limbo that mom and dad must have been going through. Looking at their son, seeing their organs through their skin, not knowing if they are going to bring them home from the hospital. And I just think we need to have this specific message spread everywhere. Are you ready for it? Disciplining is a gift to your child. It is not mean. It is so much easier to be a parent that's neglectful. Go ahead, do whatever. I'll blame it on you. Go ahead, touch that. See how you get burned? It's so much easier to be that parent. It is so much harder to be the parent that disciplines, because we want our children to one day be able to have friends and be a good friend. We want them to be able to hold a job, communicate with others, resolve conflict, be patient. Anytime we are disciplining, I want us to realize that we are not mean. This is a sacrifice and a gift that we do every day as we shape the children that will one day be adults.
No.
Sweetie, here. Here's the heart. You can take a turn and Nika takes a turn. No! No hitting. That is not nice, Nicholas.
Do the boys bicker like this between themselves?
Instead of sharing or taking turns or whatnot, they just hit instead of it.
This was meant to be playtime, but the children were so bored. There's not much fun happening here.
Unstructured play like this can be quite difficult, and here is why. We have two, not one, but two 3-year-olds, and they just turned 3. Then we also have a 4-year-old, and they're just left to play with some toys. Just play with some toys, and then mom is just going to sit there and manage, and she'll be there if anybody needs anything, she's there. Here's the problem with this. The kids don't know how to share and take turns. They don't know how to communicate effectively by being assertive, making requests. They don't know conflict resolution skills. What do I do when my brother doesn't give me the toy when I ask properly, even if I learned how to ask properly? So when kids are left this young in unstructured play, what's going to happen is the caregiver is just going to continuously be correcting them. That caregiver is going to be on the reactive. And this just creates a negative scenario where the children are constantly getting in trouble. So what do we do instead? We have to be present and teach those skills when the children are together. And if you can't be present, mom, because obviously you're not going to be there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, right next to them, teaching them skills, because nobody can possibly do that, then they are going to be playing separately. So you can do this. Here's an idea. You can set up 3, because you have 3 kids, you could set up 3 different centers. You could have a table with Play-Doh, you can have a table with puzzles, and then you could have a table with musical instruments or whatever. I don't know. Come up with the ideas. And then each of the kids take turns going to each section. You can put on a little timer. Think of it like a classroom. I am a teacher. I can't help it. It comes out. And by doing this, they're not interacting with each other, so you don't have to manage them as much. But when they're together, when you're taking the time to teach those skills, instead of being reactive and waiting for the child to hit the other child, you're actually practicing a skill so that eventually you don't need to be there just managing their behavior, because they already know how to do it themselves.
Why do you think she's crying now?
Because of her foot cramps. She has them all the time.
Kate, your foot? Is your foot hurting you? Is it? Or is that something that you tell Mummy so that she'll give you cuddles? What one is it?
It's when Mommy gives me cuddles
And admitted that she makes out that she gets foot cramps so that she can get her mum's attention.
In the busy world that we live in today as parents, this is what I believe is ruining so many children that come from great, loving families. If we do not teach our children how to get attention appropriately, they will find a way to get that attention in their own creative way. And this leads to all kinds of problems because Kate has learned that taking those little pots that she was playing with and drumming them together and making noise, that didn't get mom's attention. And so she had to pretend to have a physical ailment just for her mom to pay attention to her. Is mom a bad mom? Absolutely not. That is why I say, and I started this off with, we are so busy that often as parents, we only react when there are negative things happening. And this is hurting our children because they are learning to fake physical ailments just in order to get our love. And mom isn't even aware of it. Joe, thank goodness, she comes over and she lets Kate talk and she lets her just get it out. Tell me what's going on. What makes you sad? And then when she notices that it's a little bit different, that why would her foot hurt? She goes, do you think maybe you want mommy's attention and that's why? And she's like, yes. She doesn't then call her a liar and yell at her. She is then going to hopefully help teach her, if you want mommy's attention, do this instead. And then mom has to reinforce that, because if mom's only giving attention when she says that her foot's hurting, her foot's just going to continue to hurt.
Nick, you're not in a barn. You chew. Think you don't like your cheese? Just leave the cheese on there. That's for you. Put it there. Just leave it on your plate, okay? Just leave it on your plate. Nick, you can't throw your food. Why do you do that?
I love to.
You're just making a mess.
Yeah, like a troublemaker.
Come on, guys.
Nicholas.
Oh, Nicholas? Just they all done.
They throw drinks on the floor, throw their food.
The final issue that's discussed with the Tsironis family is mealtime. They are throwing the food all over the place, acting like wild animals at the dinner table. And Joe Frost points out that it is bad habits. How do we fix bad habits? We create new habits and we practice them. So finding those things, what I would say to mom is, they have this thing where there's certain foods that they don't want on their plate, right? Instead of maybe just going straight to, you have to keep it on your plate, the way that the kid didn't want the cheese, he just wanted to eat the pizza bread. A step in the right direction would be having a separate plate that's on the table. And if there's anything on your plate that you do not want to eat, you can put it on your little separate plate. This is a step in the right direction because they are young children, so they're not going to have the table manners of a 10-year-old yet. Finding little solutions that create good habits at the dinner table is a great first step.
I brought in the naughty point.
Guys, we're almost ready, okay? What happened?
Daddy put me.
Teddy, that's your warning. No pushing Kate or you're going to the naughty point. Do you understand? Okay? Say you're sorry to Kate, please.
No.
You're going to sit 2 minutes on the naughty point. We don't hit and we don't push. It hurts people.
The naughty chair, the naughty bench, the naughty step, the naughty room. Now we have the naughty point. And there's not just 1 point, there's 2 points. One for each kid. But they all have something in common. The same procedure of the warning, very clear. Joe explains exactly how to get down to their level, look at them in the eyes, give them a very clear warning of what behavior they're doing that is unacceptable. Great. And then if they continue that behavior, they get the consequence, which is going to this naughty whatever, fill in the blank, in this case, the naughty point. Now, something that I would do a little bit differently, because that's what this channel is about, me sharing, is after that warning, I would have had Teddy redo the situation to do it properly instead of forcing an apology. So I would have said, Teddy, you pushed Kate. Pushing is not okay. Let's try this again. Okay, you stand here. Kate stands here. It looks like they were going into a drawer or something while they were waiting for the food. Now say, excuse me, Kate, or whatever the problem is. And I would fix the actual situation by teaching whatever needed to be taught. Practicing it, just saying you're sorry, doesn't give the opportunity for the child to practice the missed skill.
Now you need to just try to tell me what's really bothering you. You know, I'm looking at Joe like, Joe, look at her. You know, this is not faking.
Mummy and Daddy want to spend time with you after dinner, but this temper tantrum has got to stop. All of a sudden, Kate's cramps were gone.
It is astonishing how far a child will go to get attention. It could be a foot cramp, it could be my head hurts, my belly hurts. Some kids will actually make themselves sick if it goes on long enough. Another common one is when you ask them to do something like clean up their room, suddenly, oh, my arms, my legs, I am so tired. I can't even lift my arm. And instead of calling them out on it, you just go, oh yeah, your arms are so tired. I could see they look real heavy, huh? Well, we were gonna go to the playground later, and I just think the playground might be a lot for your arms. So maybe it's best if we stay home right now. Let's let your arms rest. You don't have to clean up your room right now. And then later during playground time, we'll clean up your room then so that your arms have enough time to rest. And then you'll start to see your kid's face change. And that's when you go, you know, how are your arms feeling now? And then they'll probably go, you know what, Mommy? My arms are feeling much better. Great. Let's clean it up real quick and then we could get to the playground.
Keep working together. Remember, it's really important about being on the same page.
We will.
All right? Don't let frustration become anger.
She wants you to win. She wants you to do well. And it's hard to say goodbye to somebody like that.
For the rest of the episode, Joe continues to work on the naughty point and being consistent, because when Dad takes over for dinner one night, he does not follow the rules with the warnings and the naughty point, but then he gets back on board. They continue to work on giving attention to each child so that Kate does not need to pretend that her foot hurts anymore. If you want to see the whole episode, I link it in the description. Let's see where the Tsironis family is now. This episode aired in November 2005 and was a part of season 2. As of right now, Dad is 58, Mom is 57, Kate is 24, and the boys are 22. This episode marked the first implementation of the naughty point. Kate graduated from Forest Hills Northern High School in 2019. Teddy and Nicholas graduated high school in 2020. Nicholas joined the Marines, and Kate played volleyball at the University of Evansville. We'll start with Elizabeth's Facebook. Here is an updated photo of Mom in 2022. Here is a picture of Nicholas in the Marines. This was 2021. Mom and Kate during Christmas time. Younger Kate. Very young Kate. Oh, and super young Kate. This looks like it was even before they were on Supernanny. Oh, we got a Care Bear. Here is Mom with both boys, Nicholas and Teddy, at their graduation. Let's now look at Bob's Facebook, which is Dad. Here is Dad, Mom, and Kate with a beautiful sunset. And Dad and Mom. Finally, we have Kate's Facebook. This is her volleyball picture from 2021. The whole family. Let me zoom in on, oh, not the whole family because Mom's not in it. But there's Kate and Nicholas and Teddy. Thanks for joining me. If you have a request on which family we should watch together next, drop it in the comments below, because we will be creating a brand new wheel for the new year to choose each week. Unfortunately, my old wheel, when I went to open up the website, all the names disappeared. And for me to go back and try to put them in, why? It's very laggy. I'm sorry. I have no idea why it's laggy right now. But for me to go back and look at all of those names again would just take a very long time. So I feel like let's go fresh. Let's just start with new names. Please, only one family request per commenter. So think of which family we haven't seen. If you request somebody that we have seen, I'll go ahead and just comment back with the link to that family, and then you could try again. And we'll compile a new wheel, and we'll be back together again next week. So I hope you have a good one, and I'll see you then. Bye.